West with TmrO app, and I'm here live and direct with the TmrO app, and we are with the amazing, talented producers and writer of
Wesley Christmas.
Yes, and we are so excited. So we're going to dig in and just ask you all some questions about this amazing film that's going to be premiering here pretty soon on BET. Thanksgiving Day, 8 o'clock. Yes. So tell us, what inspired this film? I know you all have many productions under your belt, but tell us about stepping into the family and what it meant for you all to create this film during the holidays.
Well, I think it's important for us. We are so fortunate to have such a beautiful family. We're a blended family. I say we're blended to perfection. 4 boys and 4 girls. And yes, we are the modern day Black Brady Bunch. But the whole idea was that we be able to, just have a special story about a special family and kind of deal with all the nuances that families go through during the holidays. And so we were super excited because then we could kind of incorporate some of our stories and then also some other creative stories just to make a great story so that people could meet the Wesleys and fall in love with them.
Awesome. Not whitewash it. It was very important for us to be authentic and with the drama, real things that happen. When you get together with your family on Christmas, it's not always just a happy holiday. And how you deal with those issues as a family, and we wanted to make it very real about that.
I love that. Can we talk to the production aspect of it? What did it take for you all to produce this film? How long did it take? When did it start? How did you go about selecting the actors that you wanted to play these roles? Like, what went into that process?
A whole lot of money. And the next one, you want to give us some? Shoot. But yeah, so this project it's a very special project because this is the first project my wife wrote. And we put a lot of love. She cultivated it for quite a while and made it to the point where we knew we had something very special. So as she was writing it, as she was writing the characters, she thought about who she wanted to play those characters. And everyone that we identified that we wanted is who we got. We wanted to make sure we got some icons, some living legends. So we got TC, we got Jasmine Guy, we got Dorian Wilson. And then we want to get some of the rising upcoming actors that in television and film now. So we got 9 of the hottest upcoming actors in television and film. And then we got a director that we knew was very good with Christmas projects, a dear friend of the Octet family, Patricia Cuffey. And then you threw me in there, and I could, be add a little bit extra in there to help make it a little something special.
Yes, I love that. So for you, tell me about writing.
Yes.
And what that process and for you two together, and I guess some of the challenges and the triumphs that have gone into place with producing this film.
I think that writing it was a whole new animal, and it's been crazy because although my husband doesn't write, he is definitely a connoisseur. So there were times when I thought I had something really good, and he just wasn't moving the needle. It was like, oh, okay, well, let's keep on working. And I'm like, well, what you trying to say? Mm-hmm. But I think the idea was learning as I wrote, and I think it was kind of a jump into the water and see if you could swim. So it was really kind of one of those things where I just felt a story, and as I developed the characters, a story just came, and I started falling in love with these characters and really their story and trying to figure out how to get their story best told. So writing was super therapeutic for me, exciting, and I realized I really enjoyed writing. So it's required some learning because that wasn't how I came into the entertainment world. I came in as a producer, and as a producer, we think we can get anybody. Oh, let's just let's put the offers out and see what comes back in terms of talent. But when you write, it's like, oh my gosh, this is my story. They may be telling me they might not like the story, and then they don't like the script, and they're not interested in working with us. So you really have to put yourself out there, and being behind the camera, you don't usually have to do that. So for us to be able to do that and have people believe in our project and really fall in love with these characters and bring these characters to life, I think it was the most exciting experience to date professionally.
I love that. And that brings me to my next question. What has it been like working together as a unit. We know that you all have a partnership in marriage, but how has that personal relationship propelled and fueled your professional relationship? Kind of speak to some of the triumphs and maybe challenges that live in that space.
Okay, so in my previous life, I was touring stage plays across the country, and I thought I was doing really well at it. I thought I was very good at what I did until I found my soulmate. We tell people that we're best friends, and you know what? A lot of people say that, but we truly are best friends. We spend 99.5% of our time together. We're together all the time at home, personally and professionally. But what that does is when you find that right person, it enhances everything you're doing personally and professionally. So what I thought was I was doing on the play level, producing stage plays on across the country was here. Then when her and I got together and we started building together, it took me up here.
So we did marry up.
Definitely married up.
I love that. I love that. And can kind of you speak to, that as well?
I think that because we're such good friends and have such a close-knit relationship, we understand that we each have our own lanes. And mostly I stay in my lane. I'm the creative and he is the operational. So he handles the day-to-day and makes sure that whatever the creative comes up with, it can be financed or it can be worked out and we can create something magical together. So having kind of distinct roles works really well. So if there's ever a situation where like, we don't necessarily agree on how something should go, we look to see what lane and then it kind of goes, we get to decide. But he will say, I'm sure his next thing is going to say that sometimes I drive over into his lane.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's okay every now and then.
I think so. We're just visiting.
Yes.
But no, I mean, it works really well. We just see things eye to eye, and it's really a blessing. I feel very fortunate to be able to have a partner that I can build with and inside of our home and outside of our home, because I think people always say that they feed off of Octet Productions is our company, and they say that they feed off of our connection, our family bond. And now all of these talents that we have become a part of our Octet family. And so it's really beautiful because we make movies, but we also build these bonds. Sometimes, talent that becomes, and even crew that becomes family. So we're very fortunate because we believe in the village. We appreciate every part of what we do. And I think with that mutual respect and appreciation on our sets and in our home, there's nothing but love. And that's the same thing with our Wesley this Wesley Christmas, our Wesleys, full of love.
I love that. And I love the union. Can you all speak to what it takes to build this dynamic team? What goes into selecting the different people that help to make up Octet and continue to be able to produce these films? What do you look for in new talent and new creatives as you scale your company?
Passion, because the reality is, we get to go to work and play. We get to play make-believe every day. You know what I mean? And it's, in order to really get creative with make-believe, in every facet, we're all artists. In every component of what we do, there's an artist. From the person who's a production assistant, trying to get in on an entry-level way, all the way to the leading cast member. Everyone is an artist, and everyone has to have a passion to learn more and to grow, because that's all that it takes. Really, if you're passionate about it, whatever it is, you're going to thrive. So that's how I see it.
I love that. That's an incredible answer. And it brings me to my next question, finding your why. What has helped to find your why throughout this whole process? And what was that first moment for you all individually or collectively that you said, the light switch went off and it was like, aha, this is my why. This is why I'm here.
Yeah, for us, it's not a light switch that goes on because we're very faithful. So we walk by faith. And if you truly walk by faith, you can't be scared. So our why is we want to do what he's directing us to do. And it has been from day one is to help build relationships, help build people's careers, help build anything that we can do to use our platform to help someone else come along. That's what our passion is.
And I think piggybacking on that, our company is Octet Productions. OCT is the Latin prefix for eight, and that's because of our eight children. So our why has always been rooted in our family and our foundation, because we're creating a legacy of storytelling our way, kind of by us, about us, so that we can leave a historical perspective. Because everyone knows people who don't know a culture, they'll look to a film or a television show to try to determine who we are as a people. So, from our perspective, the best way to capture who we are is by doing it ourselves.
I love that. And also, just in the climate of where we are, you all are black creators. You know what I mean? You are creating your own destiny. Like you said, you get to show up to work and play make believe, but it's not make believe because you had a vision. And when there's vision, I like to believe God provides provision.
Absolutely.
And so you all were afforded the opportunity to now create. So what does it mean to you? What is the duty and the responsibility that you feel you have being a black creator?
Authenticity. It's important for us to be real, and also as black creators, we also believe in educating as we entertain, because I think that there's so much about us as a complex people that other people don't know about. And so while we do create our stories about us, by us, and primarily for us, it's not just for us, it's for everyone to see who we are. We're a proud, layered people that's complex and so individual as much as we are unified and united. So I think that for us, it's important to always stay true to who we are and true to the messages that we as a family want to portray in the world.
Wow, that was an amazing answer. I love that.
Don't ask me the same.
Right, I was just about to say she's pretty much answered it. Yeah, she's pretty much answered it.
That's why we're partners.
Yes, I love it. When it isn't always, what is the word best way I can say? Like when things aren't necessarily going right, and there's fires that you have to put out. As we know, with productions, things can kind of go haywire, budgets, time limits, actors not being available, you know what I mean? Can you kind of speak to what your protocol is as it relates to putting those fires out and still being able to rise to the occasion and move on to the next?
So I come from the background, like I said, of hiring 30 plus people on the road, and we travel from city to city. So one of my nicknames used to be the fireman, because for me, I never let myself go too high, or I don't let myself go too low. People say, Chuck, you're this cool ass Chuck. But it's not cool ass Chuck. It's just that I keep a mainframe that is that can sustain the drama over here, or can sustain a big win. And it's not about the actual problem, it's about how you resolve the problem. And I focus on the resolution. And that's our protocol, is to not let my wife deal with it, because I like to try to keep her in that creative space as much as possible, because all the outside forces can take away from that creative space. So when we do have those problems come to me, and that's part of us staying in those different lanes.
I love that. At TmrO app, we're at a creative app that connects creatives and clients. So what goes into the process of you all discovering new talent, not just on-screen talent, but your producers, your line producers, your stage, your wardrobe, your hair, your makeup. I know you may have a team that helps, but from your perspective, what do you look for? I know you said passion earlier, but outside of that, what do you look for vetting these creatives?
I think, of course, the passion, but then also, it's always important to really have people who are serious about about what they're doing. Whether it's an actor, every time we shoot a project, we like to bring in new faces, because again, we feel responsible for introducing new faces. So we like to mix in. Sometimes, like for example, with the Wesley family, we have, like Chuck said, we have the veteran icons who have graced the stage and graced the television and film for decades and continue to do so well. But then we also have the rising stars, right? But then also we brought in a set of twins this was their first movie, and they did an amazing job. And they're right there with the Wesley family. So the fact that we were able to introduce them to the world is amazing. And I mean, that's what we try to do every time. Try to introduce new talent, because in every facet, if with our keys, we work with our keys because we have a history with them and they understand how Octet likes to perform. But if they're, let's say, as a hairstylist who says, I would love to join the Octet family, we put them in touch with our key, and if there's an opportunity, then we try to extend it to them, because you don't have experience unless you get the opportunities. So from our perspective, if you're passionate and you're serious about your passion, then we're interested.
I love that. I love that. Just a couple more questions. With TmrO app, we're about just bringing creatives together for the future, and helping them to catapult to the next level and where it is that they're trying to go. Right. So the app, it focuses on basically having a lineup of all different disciplines on this app where
That's fly.
Yeah, so we're creatives, you can find a hairstylist, you can find a makeup artist, wardrobe, anything that you need, you can go, and it's pre-vetted, obviously, because we've all been working in the industry for however many years, and we felt that it would be best to filter through and to have our own, similar to like a Fiverr or all these other different ways you can go on and find creatives, but we wanted to streamline it and make it for us by us. So that's why it's important that I spoke to you about your story and how you came together with this. And so with that, we wanted to know, what have you learned upon your journey that has made you better for tomorrow?
Well, one of the things I've learned is that never take no for an answer. What no does for me is creates a fire in me to figure out how to turn that no into a yes. There's always going to be naysayers. You can't do this, and that's because people feel like they can and they don't want to pursue their dream. But whatever that dream is, if you're passionate about it and you're willing to work hard to get it, it's obtainable. And that's one of the things that I've learned in this journey.
I love that. What about you, Bree?
Mine is just trust God, because the reality is, if you really trust God, fear and faith cannot dwell in the same space. And so if you are about your business, of handling your business, you trust God, then you can't be afraid. So just go out there and go get it. The doors will open for you. People will be placed in your life. It all works out, but you've got to trust God. If you don't trust, this is my spirituality, but from my perspective, I feel like as soon as I stop trying to do it by myself, or thinking I knew the answer or we knew the answer, like every morning we wake up before we hit the ground and pray. And just thank God. We talk about what happened yesterday and how we can try to improve upon tomorrow. And I think, like I always say, the difference between a saint and a sinner is a saint just gets up and tries to do better the next day, every day. And as long as you're continuing to try to improve upon yourself and trusting God, your steps will be ordered. Doors will be open that you never even thought were even possible. When we started this, we just wanted to make a good movie or two. And now look, we're in a situation where we're traveling the country, touring a 3-part franchise for a network where over 120 million people see it. This wasn't what we thought would happen, but we're thankful for it, and we don't take any of it for granted, because not only are we working, but they're working. You know what I'm saying? And then the ones that you don't see, who are the ones behind the cameras, the ones who are lighting it up, the ones who have the sound, the ones who are setting the decor, the ones who are doing the hair and the makeup and the styling, those people, we know that it's our mission to keep trusting God, because He continues to open doors for all of us, and we're opening for all of them. So that's all I got.
I love it. I love it. Chuck, tell me about transitioning from stage plays to movies.
Wait a minute, let me jump in for a second, because I am Chuck's biggest, I know that we have press and marketing and PR, but Chuck is the only black man to serve as both. Chuck is the only black man to serve as both a general manager and producer for both urban and Broadway stage plays. Chuck has toured Lord of the Dance, Rent, Jesus Christ Superstar, Noise, Funk. All of these projects are projects that Chuck took nationally across the country. So he wasn't just a traveling play guy. Like, he really has accomplished great things, and then also worked with his best guy friend, I say, David Talbert, in some of his plays. I mean, most of his plays, right? So all of them. So I mean, he's pretty accomplished. So tell him. So go ahead, ask your question.
Now that we got the backstory from the wifey, okay? Let them know. I love that. Right. Yes, 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 yes.
See this? See this chest poking out? Yeah, she told him all about me now. Okay, now ask me again.
This is why we're supposed to be behind the camera.
So, what has it been like transitioning from the stage plays in Broadway to now motion pictures?
Well, since you now know my background in theater, it was actually a very seamless transition as far as the actual work. But when I transitioned from theater to the film, we tried to shoot our first film independently. So I thought, because I've been in the play game for 30 years, that, a lot of people knew me. I know a lot of actors, and I could just tell people, I think I want to shoot a film now. I need to get financing. So, I thought we thought together that, we'd put something together and we'd go out and get the money and shoot it. Not. So that part of the transition was difficult, but I'm very glad it was, because what that did, that showed us that we have to depend on us. It's her and I. We in this thing together. And to have a ride or die like that woman over there, that made that part of the transition very tolerable.
I love that. I love this partnership. I mean, we are going to do everything in our power to ensure that this movie goes #1. Again, we're looking forward to it premiering on BET Thanksgiving evening at 8:00 p.m. Wonder spot that you all have, and so we're doing everything in our power to make sure that the people really come out in droves and support everything it is that you all are doing. We can't thank you enough for being here, for taking the time to tell us more about this amazing film and just spending your time with us. It means so much. Absolutely. And so my last question is, we try to play on the app being named TmrO. What's on your agenda for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, at the beginning of December, we also premiere our first episodic series, and it's called Hush. And that's on All Black Network. It's an AMC-based network. Now, we've done the Wesleys, and we're doing them and their sweet little Christmas project with the fabulous family. Hush is a little salacious. It's kind of like a Black and Brown Girls, Desperate Housewives meets How to Get Away with Murder, with a whole lot of scandal.
A little scandal every now and then.
Right. So that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, okay. And what do you have going on for tomorrow?
Get on the flight, go home, go to sleep.
Getting some rest.
Rest, my friend, getting some rest. No,
Well,
we actually have, not only are we premiering that, we're actually shooting the Wesley Christmas wedding at the end of November. And then in February, we come into Atlanta to shoot a thriller with Tracy Edmonds and her production company.
So you all are staying busy.
Have to. We got 8 kids. We told you that at the beginning, right? Did you catch that? We got
This is true.
kids.
Hi, I'm Bree West, and I'm tapped in with TmrO app.
Hey, I'm Chuck West from Octet Productions, and I'm tapped into TmrO app.